All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324,
And now I'm coolcatterri.
and I am in the wrong spot. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. Sorry that everything is so echoey. As you can see, there's nothing in my room anymore. Getting ready for the big move, and there's nothing there anymore other than some holes in the wall that you can kind of still see. I haven't taken those down because I want to see what the holes are so I can, give them the good old landlord touch up. Anyways, another week has passed by, Terry. What have you been playing this week? Oh, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you. But and we have special guest Fastback with us again. Woo! Shout out to
Yo,
Fastback. Thank
good
you so much
morning.
for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite.
No problem.
My old ass gaming was sleep early last night. So when I saw your message this morning,
Excuse me, sneeze break. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's okay. No, I understand. I fell asleep early too, like at 11. So yeah.
So forgive me if I end up going out because we got thunderstorms right now. It's raining right now. So
Oh yeah. No, it
never
is.
know.
Our clouds over here where I'm living at.
Mm-hmm.
Do you live in San Antonio or?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I live in
Alamo
the
City.
DFW area.
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't sleep last night. It was just all thunderstorms last night. All thunderstorms.
Yeah. We're getting it now.
Yeah. Thank goodness they have moved on to you.
Thank you.
Anyways, Terry, another week has gone by. What have you been playing this week?
Let's see. I finished Trine 5 and had some good fun with that. And I've just been kind of going back to SnowRunner. Just kind of messing around with that. Trying to get the DLCs caught up on so I can be ready to jump over to Expeditions when they get co-op working on it.
Yes. Expeditions, baby, when they get co-op working. Fastback, again, welcome. It's been a week since we've had you on. What have you been playing since last week?
I'm still playing Fallout 3.
Yes.
And all week at different times, I'm hooked, and I'm also playing Fallout Shelter, on the side. Like I can't get enough Fallout, so let me play some Fallout Shelter on the phone, and I even have it on Xbox. You can download on Xbox too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's
You can
fun.
download
It's
it on PC
interesting.
too, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting. I downloaded Fallout Shelter. I tried it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, nope, not for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something to play around with, and do a little bit of this, and then walk away and come back later. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, oh, do you want to let this person in? Remember, you got to pick the right people for the right job. And I'm like, no, I don't want to let you in. Go die in the shelter. I think
and
I
of course,
accidentally
it's
let
one
him
of
go
those
in
phone
one
games
time.
where they want you to spend money, so you can speed up things. But yeah, no.
Anyways, let's check in with the chat real quick. Sorry, me. I have been playing more of Warhammer 40k Dark Tide with my friends. We had a terrible session this week. We when all four of us got together, we lost we lost 3 games in a row, 3 missions, I guess, in a row, until we finally succeeded at one. But like, we lost for cheap reasons. Like, we were doing a ton of damage, but then the boss would like stomp and launch us, and he like launches you out. You're fighting him on a platform, so he launches you off a platform, and we all die. And I'm like, what the heck? He didn't kill us. Like our health was so high, and he was down to like a quarter health, and he just stomps and launches us off the platform, and you had nowhere to hide. So it was just like, what a bunch of crap. So yeah, did not enjoy that. And yeah, so we've been playing a lot of Fallout lately.
Yeah, nice. Oh wait, you playing
not
4?
Fallout, sorry, Dark Tide.
Oh, Dark Tide. I was gonna say, but you haven't started any of the Fallouts yet.
No, not yet. No, I mean, I've barely had any time to play. I've been doing nothing but packing all week for the last 2 weeks. I'm trying to get all my floors to look like this. So everything is moving right now to storage, and then from storage, it's gonna move. We're not moving 100%. Like half of the stuff is gonna stay here, and then the other half is going to storage. And once we're done moving, once we are done closing, we're gonna move the rest of the half that's still here to the new house, and then go get the stuff from storage. So everything in storage is stuff that we don't want immediately. So like we didn't put clothes in storage because obviously we need clothes. You know, I didn't put my computers in my gaming consoles because obviously I want a game. But I'm probably not gonna game again until like July because it's just gonna be so busy setting everything up in the house. You know, hanging everything up. So yeah. But we'll see how everything goes. We'll see. Let's check in with the iconic chat right now. Shout out to Splendiferous. Thank you so much for joining us, Splendiferous. You are the real MVP. He says, it's Timid, my lonely friend. What's going on? Shout out to It's Timid. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, what's up, Jay? Graphic God and Doggy. Woo. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Shout out to Doggy Dog 420, my buddy, my co-host here. He says, the table is gone. It is. The table and the train, it's all gone. It's all gone. You are the real MVP, Doggy. Thank you so much. Shout out to the Gina. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, good morning, all. Good morning, Gina. Let's see. It's funny to see the background going clockwise from Axel. Bare background right through to every inch of the background covered in stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. We're changing it. We're changing it. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude joins us. Shout out to Crazy Greek Dude. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. General Spartan joins us. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, I'm close to the end to the Rise of the Ronin. Oh, man, I'm jealous. I want to play that game. Yeah, guys, let us know what you've been playing this week. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. We'd love to hear what you guys have been playing. And shout out to Sith Lord with the main tweet saying, good morning, gamers. What's going on, Sith Lord? Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And thanks for the tweet outs. We appreciate them. All right, so another week has passed by. We got another set of announcements real quick. Some of these are just announcements as kind of don't care. First announcement is BlizzCon has been canceled for 2024. So let me make this big so the chat can read it if you guys want to. After careful consideration over the last year, we at Blizzard have made the decision not to hold BlizzCon in 2024. This decision was not made lightly, as BlizzCon remains a very special event for all of us, and we all know how many of you, all of you, look forward to it. While we're approaching this year differently, as we have explored different event formats in the past, rest assured that we are just as excited to bring BlizzCon back in future years. But they didn't say next year; they said future years. And then they talk about launching stuff and other whatnot. So BlizzCon getting the axe after being acquired by Microsoft. Terry, do you think part of the 1900 layoffs were the BlizzCon people?
Possibly, you know. I don't know, but yeah,
Is BlizzCon still that big? I mean,
I've never gone to one, but it probably is, because I know, like, when it comes to like Warcraft and like Overwatch, like those fans are very devoted. So I would imagine it would still be big, but yeah, I've never gone to one.
Yeah, I've never gone to one, but I know it's people act like it's a big thing, but I don't know.
Isn't it up,
do you know how big this is?
Isn't it up your way? Have they had BlizzCon up in Dallas area?
If they have, I've never noticed.
I thought they did. No, I've never been. I guess it's big for those who like the Blizz games, but I think now that they've been acquired by Xbox, who knows? It's probably going to be part of the Xbox showcase and whatever going forward. So I guess they're trying to figure that out now.
So they do all their announcements usually at BlizzCon. So because I'm clicking on World of Warcraft, and they have the BlizzCon opening ceremony, World of Warcraft. GameSpot has the BlizzCon 2023 opening ceremony and full presentation. So it's basically their own E3, it looks like. So, yeah. They do a lot of game updates and everything yearly. The World of Warcraft, the War Within, was revealed at BlizzCon. So yeah, BlizzCon, I guess, it's a huge thing apparently.
So I just did a really quick lookup just to see.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can't really blame Xbox for this not happening because it looks like the one they had last year was an absolute disaster. So,
Hmm.
Well, why was it a disaster? Like, does it say why?
part of it was the fact that they increased the prices by a phenomenal amount. So I guess the ticket price used to be $70 and they increased it to 300.
Wow.
Wow.
What the heck?
So they had majority of the people just watch the online broadcast instead of going. So they had like record numbers of like 10 million people watching it, but like nobody went.
Wow. Well, I mean, when you get expensive, that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they got the Microsoft money, so maybe they don't have to do that going forward, or they'll just be part of one big group with Xbox and Bethesda, right?
Yeah. Sith Lord says, Jay said BlizzCon is very expensive. Expensive. Blizzard loses lots of money when they do it. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, obviously, um, BlizzCon goes under the marketing budget. Of course, it's a loss. Marketing is a lost budget. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're not making anything. So yeah, I think BlizzCon would be a loss to put on. Maybe they're gonna combine them all into like now that Xbox has, Xbox, ABK, Bethesda, Bethesda used to do their own showcase at E3. Xbox did their own showcase at E3, and Blizzard had BlizzCon going on. Maybe they're going to combine them into like this, gaming at Microsoft week or something, or
Yeah,
gaming at Microsoft weekend event. That would be something if they combine all three of them into something. I think that would be cool.
yeah. I think they should, and maybe because Xbox has been doing one day, right?
Hmm.
Sunday. Maybe they do a Sunday, Monday. Make it a little bit longer.
Or Saturday,
Especially if
Sunday.
especially if they're gonna have quite a few games announced, whatever coming up. So that's a
Hmm.
lot. Uh,
Yeah, I really think they should combine them all now that they have all of them
mhm.
because Activision has a bunch of titles they could do. Blizzard obviously has. For those of you who are into mobile, everything's going to fall into King now. King has their own stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously, Bethesda had their own stuff going on, and of course, Xbox Game Studios has it. So they have three publishing houses. They gotta please here, and I think they
yeah.
could definitely combine it all into either like one long daily full day event or split it up over 2 days.
Yeah, imagine if they do an Xbox Fan Fest weekend.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I would
remember,
love to go to that.
dude. If they brought back XO in the
Yeah,
U.S., I might make an effort to go to one. But
yeah,
I believe the last XO they had was in Europe somewhere, wasn't it? In Spain.
maybe.
I know they had one in Mexico, and then
Yeah, they
I know
did.
they had one in Europe
Yeah,
somewhere.
they did. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, BlizzCon canceled. For those of you who are huge BlizzCon people, it is sad. You never like to see these things canceled, and they didn't say they were going to bring it back next year. That's not part of the announcement. They said in future years, right here, back in future years. And they're just talking about how they're going to do over the next few months. They're going to talk about the war within, Diablo 4's first expansion, Vessel of Hatred, how they're going to do DreamHack. They're going to be at game conventions like Gamescom, things of that nature. So they're just all over the place. But yeah, BlizzCon canceled. Doggy says that he thinks the last XO was in the UK. I believe so. I know it was in Europe somewhere. I just don't know. And I know because I was waiting for it to come back to the US and it never made it back. Then the pandemic happened and I never got an XO. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Shout out to Shale Walker. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, I've been playing Iden Chronicle 100 Heroes. How is it? Let us know how that is. I was interested in that game. And then I played the first one that released and I hated it. And so now I'm off my 100 Heroes hype and we'll see. We'll see. All right. On to other gaming news. Here. Sony patents autoplay mode. For those of you that wanted more cinematic and less gaming, Sony's got you covered. Sony knows that you guys love your YouTube videos. So, who plays games over on the PlayStation? Nobody plays games on PlayStation. Those are cinematic experiences, boys and girls. and Sony's going to help you get it with autoplay mode. Sony patents autoplay game mode. Sony patents a new technology that could enable an autoplay mode in PlayStation games, potentially allowing players to skip some gameplay segments. Just watch YouTube at that point, boys and girls. Just watch YouTube. Okay, so we're only going to go over the bullet points, okay, because I'm not going to read all these technical AI stuff. Sony patents new AI-powered system could revolutionize gaming. Notice how it's revolutionary. Anything Sony does, right?
Mhm.
Revolutionize gaming by allowing players to skip repetitive or grindy gameplay sections. The autoplay mode technology uses an AI model to simulate gameplay styles and could be implemented into Sony PlayStation games. While potentially controversial, this system could benefit players who struggle with lengthy games and grinding, enhancing their overall experience. So, over on PC, guys, we have these things called bots. So, like, I could download a Diablo 4 bot that will play Diablo 4 for me, so that I don't have to grind for gear in the end game. It automatically does it. And somehow, people who use these bots, if you get caught using a bot, you get banned. You get banned. But apparently, if you buy Diablo 4 on PlayStation and let the AI simulate your gameplay for you, no ban. No ban. Grind that gear while you're at work. Grind that gear while you're sleeping. You're gonna be logged into Diablo 4 for 84 hours straight before and not get banned. So, what do you think about that? There. By the way, if you're interested in how it works, here's the model. Okay, if you know any of that stuff. Okay. Sony's technology would use an AI-powered model to learn how to play games using information from the cloud-based services like PSN. This trained model would be used to offer an autoplay mode in PlayStation games. This way, PlayStation gamers would not need to play grindy or repetitive sections of the game, i.e., like Diablo 4. So, what do you think there, Fastback, about this AI model that's going to let you basically be get through grindy sections of games like Diablo 4?
Well, it's just one step towards Skynet taking over humans. But yeah, I mean, part of me not surprised because a lot of young gamers, like you said earlier, just watch it on YouTube, and a lot of young gamers who didn't grow. I don't know. I mean, don't care about the grind and all that, putting in all the work. Would rather just watch the experience, the experience from watching it, and if they could still get PlayStation trophies and get all the accolades for finishing the game, but without having to put in the work. I mean, that's where the young generation's going, right? It's less physical, it's more computerized. Now AI is going to be assisting people at work. Now they're going to want to assist you on your gaming. So why not? Whatever. I mean, if Sony allows it and people want to use it and they like it, then let it be. I mean, whatever. I mean, it just where things are going for some people.
Yeah, definitely. Terry, this will learn your habits in Mud Runner and Mud Run for you.
No. First off, this isn't new tech.
Right, bots have been around for a while, right?
Yeah.
Bots have been around, but also there are video games that have been around for years that already had like an autoplay feature. Like a lot like mobile games pretty much started that, where it's like you have those games where it just like autoplays until you actually take control of it again. So I don't know. I guess this is kind of like how Android will have something, and then Apple will be like, look, we made this new technology that clearly nobody else had for the last 10 years.
Just call it something different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't like it. I could see how this could be a benefit to some people, but overall it would be abused, and I feel like this is just going to be one of those things where it could potentially kill genres of games, because developers are going to be like, why am I going to put all these people in the game if people are just then they'll just stop creating that stuff. You know, you might not have grindy, MMOs and things like that anymore. They might just try to make games more linear. So
Yeah, games might actually focus on the story instead of a bunch of bullet
Yeah.
sponges.
you guys don't want to do all these things that are in the game, then we'll just play games that have none of that.
Right.
That's what will more likely is what would happen. And then of course gamers would cry because that's what we need. But no, I don't see this as a good thing.
You don't see it as a good thing?
I
Nope.
did forget to add that. I mean, it could be good for players with disabilities. Another accessibility to add.
It
They can add
That's what I
features.
was leaning towards.
It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
a
leaning
habit.
towards.
So I mean, if
Yeah,
you're
I
a
forgot to add
disabled
that earlier.
player
Yeah,
and
I
you're
was
already
leaning
struggling, all it's
Yeah.
gonna do is keep struggling for you.
Yeah, so like that's what I was leaning towards when I was like it could be benefit for some, but it would be abused because then people who don't have disabilities would just use it.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? Which defeats the whole purpose. It's there to aid people who need the aid, not people to just use it because they're lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's check in with the chat, see how they feel. LMAO, of course, they would have this on some of their games like this now. Yep. Yeah, some of them. Yeah. And shout out to Dan, the man, Cunningham, for joining us. He says, hey, all, how's everybody doing today? Hey, Dan, the man, thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. We appreciate you. Let's see. Chair Walker says, I'm right now in a grind for an item with a 5% drop rate. It is optional. Yeah, like I said, and I use this for, I'm going to admit it, for Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, I use the bot to grind for some specific items. And I set that bot up, and I was grinding it for a week and a half before I got my specific items while I was at work. And I was at work for 12 hours a day. So when I would come home and hit stop on the bot and check my inventory to see if my item had dropped. And yeah, some of these things require a lot of grinding. So yeah, I totally get it, Chair Walker. I totally get it. Yeah. And shout out to Death Dealer. Thank you so much for joining us. She says, I'm here. Dreadpool isn't, but I am. You're all welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Tell Dreadpool he's not the MVP because he's not here. No, I'm just kidding. And shout out to the Game Complainers. He says, yo, Axel. Yo, Game Complainers. What's up, sir? Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. And I saw your video here. You were hacking it, an Xbox 360 Slim right when we started. So yeah, if you guys wanted to see that, head on over to the Game Complainers after the show. Let's see. And Timothy's still getting over a cold, but he's all right. Yeah. So hopefully you get better.
Would this autoplay also potentially disqualify them from earning trophies?
I don't know. I mean, Sony, I don't think is in the habit of punishing gamers for using their stuff. So we'll see. But I mean, Sony patents a ton of stuff that they never use. So, and I mean, all companies do. If you have an idea, they patent it, and if it comes to fruition, great. If not, if someone else makes it come to fruition, they get the royalties. So
Yeah.
A lot of times patenting is just to making sure you're part of the royalty check. I see Splendifer says Sony needs to go sit down somewhere. They are, sir. They're going to let that game play itself. They're going to sit down and let that game play itself.
So now you instead of 50% play by itself, you can do 100%.
That's right. If you loved watching a 30-minute cutscene, man, you're going to love watching a 30-minute cutscene with 30-minute gameplay sessions in between. Yeah. Let's see. General Spartan says the autoplay mode would work for people who play Twitter, not games. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Wow. No lies
Hey, while you're
detected,
playing
sir.
on your Xbox, you can let the AI play your PlayStation.
Yeah. Chet Walker says, I mean, the side quest is optional. Yeah, but if a side quest has a 5% drop, I'm going to keep doing the side quest until I get the 5% drop. Because I'm going to be honest with you. When I play RPGs, the only reason I do side quest is for items. if a side quest gives me like oh, your reward is something you can buy in the store right now, I'm like, nope, next. You know, it's like, oh, your reward is you get this item like 3 levels early. Yes, let me in. You know, that's what I do. Anyways, shout out to Slendy. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Scary, scary Slendy. He says, "What's up, everyone? What's going on?" Let's see. And let's see. Bad night and morning. I've been here since 3:30 hacking Xbox 360s. I'm finally leaving work now. Wow. Wow. Get some rest. Get some rest. And thank you so much for dropping by. We appreciate you. Let's see. What else does the chat have to say about this? Slendy says, Sony doesn't have to do anything. Xbox is digging themselves into a hole. Oh, ouch. Ouch. Well, I don't know, man. Xbox seems to be pretty successful on their metrics that they care about. So, yeah. On the metrics we might care about, they might not be doing so good, but on the metrics they care about, they're doing fantastic. And Death Dealer says, I only do side quests to level up. Sometimes that happens, yes. All right. Let's see. Sony patents. Moving on to the other news. Meta is partnering with Microsoft Xbox to make a limited edition Quest headset. VR is finally coming to Xbox, right? Right, guys?
I think Xbox is going to VR. That was more accurate.
Yeah.
All right. Meta is partnering with Microsoft's Xbox to create a limited edition Meta Quest headset. This was announced during the Mark Zuckerberg 45-minute, I think, announcement thing. So let's see. The announcement comes as Meta also announced it's rebranding the Quest software platform to Meta Horizon OS and letting third-party hardware companies such as Asus and Lenovo. Sorry, Asus. It's Asus, right? Yeah.
If you want to say it like that.
Asus and Lenovo make headsets running it. All right, so we finally are getting the Android of VR, which is going to be Horizon OS, which, hey, could only expand and make VR bigger, right? So is Microsoft going to use this Horizon OS to make an Xbox VR headset? No. Unlike the Asus and Lenovo headsets, which are described as new headsets, though, the Xbox headset is described as a limited edition Meta Quest. Quest is remaining only as the brand for the Meta's first-party headset, suggesting this will be an edition of Quest 3, not an entirely new headset. The console image above also just this as it has the exact same strap design, blah, blah, blah. What is the console image? Hold on, guys. I got to switch here to see.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Sorry for the ads.
Because I would like to get a VR one day. My daughter's asked for one, and I wouldn't mind getting.
I'm going to guess this is the concept image here. Right here. Yeah. And he's playing Halo. Let's see. No, I am not going to disable my ad blocker. Sorry. According to Mark Zuckerberg, it will include an Xbox controller in the box so you can play Xbox cloud gaming with no additional hardware. This will be a continuation of the long-term strategic partnership Meta and Microsoft announced back in 2022. So far, it's brought Xbox cloud gaming to Meta's XR platform. I think they meant VR platform, as well as progressive web apps for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. According to the 2022 announcement, the next step in partnership should be bringing Windows 365, which streams a full-fledged Windows 11 PC from the cloud for a subscription fee. So there you go. So the limited edition Xbox VR. Xbox is not getting into VR. They're just going to have a black headset and it's going to ship with an Xbox controller and maybe include 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So, Terry, are you finally going to get this Xbox branded headset?
No. But maybe one day. Like I said, I'm waiting for the AR to become the thing because I'm not real big on VR. To me, it's not. I don't need VR. It's just a gimmick. AR just makes more sense.
I'm all VR. Screw AR. I've played some of these AR games and they suck in comparison to full VR experiences.
Yeah, but you gotta look at VR. Most of those VR games also suck. They have a couple good ones, but overall, there's out of the thousand some VR games, you probably have 5 good ones.
Out of the VR games I played, some of them feel more like experiences than games. Like, oh, that was a cool demo. That was a cool demo. But there are some games that I'm just like, that belonged on VR. That belonged on VR, But the Xbox Cloud, Fastback. I don't know if you have a Meta Quest 3, but now you get an Xbox branded Meta Quest 3 with a Xbox branded Meta Quest 3 controller.
Well, now that I see that, I mean, I've never really been interested in VR.
Mhm.
I mean, it has its place in gaming, but it's just another option of gaming.
It sure is.
Uh, but I like this idea, like the color. I love the Xbox black and green. That's my favorite color combo. So I like this idea. Like if I'm going to get a VR for first time, maybe I would do this. And I think it's a good idea for Xbox and Microsoft to dip their toe into the VR world, not taking full responsibility, like for funding the hardware and all that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is a good team up, and especially with Meta, they have the money. They've done all the research and development of this headset. And I heard it's a good headset, VR deal. So I think it's a good first step for Xbox to get into putting their games on the VR, and maybe some of the studios will make VR games, so that gamers can have a choice. You want to play it on your console, you want to play on mobile, PC, and now adding the VR as another device to play Xbox games, right? Game Pass or whatever. So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. I think it's a total good idea. My amazing, beautiful wife just gifted me for my birthday MetaQuest 3, the high end one, not the cheap one.
Mhm.
So shout out to her.
I mean, she loves you.
And she does love me, and I love her so much back. And we the VR headset is so much better. The 3 is so much better than the 2, especially in the AR aspect. So, and I played Xbox Cloud Gaming on VR. It's definitely a massive screen. Um, it's just as responsive as it is everywhere else. It's pretty good. It is annoying that you have to hook up a Xbox controller and that because you got to navigate the VR OS using the Quest controllers, and then you got to put them down and grab your Xbox controller. But then if you need to do something, you got to put your Xbox controller down, grab your Quest controllers. That's the only part I find annoying. But maybe now that they're opening Horizon OS up to everybody, like I would imagine that Lenovo and Asus are making their own controllers for Horizon OS. I'm going to assume that Xbox can make Xbox VR controllers, or a third party can make Xbox VR controllers. That way I don't have to keep switching controllers. That's the only downside I saw from using it. So this is, I think this is a positive. This can only grow the VR gaming space, I believe. And the best thing about the Meta Quest is that it's compatible with PC. So you can plug it in via wire to your PC and play real, like, hardcore PC games like Half-Life Alyx, right? So you're not limited to just the Horizon OS store. You can also do the Steam VR store, your, I don't know, whatever other VR stores you do. So if the Horizon OS and Xbox OS, because Xbox is PC and PC is Xbox, maybe in the future we will be able to plug in the MetaQuest into our Xboxes via USB, maybe a Thunderbolt 3 connection or something, a USB-C connection, and play Halo in VR or something akin to that. Or you also don't need to plug it in. It also does streaming over Wi-Fi. Again, there's some lag, but you can stream your Xbox console directly to your phone to play your Xbox console nowadays. Maybe you'll be able to stream your VR game from your Xbox console to this future headset. So the possibilities are there. As I said, all it can do is grow the VR headspace, and especially get Xbox just, baby steps into VR.
Yeah.
Where they're not the procurer of the hardware, and to put it onto an open system, it's kind of a give and take. Kind of like they did with Android. When you don't control the platform, you're kind of held hostage to whatever the platform decides. But it sounds like Xbox, Microsoft, and Meta Horizon are trying to get everything working together. So I'm just hoping for better and better VR headsets in the future. Let's see. Let's see.
Good, Dylan.
Let's see. Slendy says, he was talking about we were talking about how on the things that matter to Xbox, they're doing very good. And yeah, very true. They're a $3 trillion company. They're doing good. They are. Let's see. Nothing stops a grinding session faster than a 9-month-old grandchild wanting you to hold them. Hey, man, appreciate those times. Because, once they become teenagers, they don't want you to touch them. So appreciate those times, Chair Walker. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. I was also with Perry last night doing the Xboxes and my was rough. My it was rough. Yeah. Oh, with Perry. All right, so you were there with the game complainers. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's see. Only VR I need is room in my cars. And then Terry was talking about VR. Don't come for her, Axel. Terry's an assassin. She is. Let's see. Somehow I got into the naughty room. And shout out to Pixel Slapper. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, do like the game complainers say here, guys. Hit that like button. Every like helps us get discovered in the live section of YouTube, especially the gaming session where we stream. We appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're new here and you like the show, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate you. I haven't made a quest too. I love it. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. There's my beautiful wife. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the MVP of my life. She says, I love you, but no more new VR, okay? Wink, wink.
Well, right now you don't have nothing. It's empty in your room, sir.
What's that?
I said, right now you don't have nothing. It's empty in your room behind you.
This is a good VR place.
Selling all your stuff behind you.
Yeah, I'm actually. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, wow, I can play VR in here now.
Right.
But I don't have time. Let's see. I've been calling Asus wrong my whole life. I used to call him Asus. I used to be Asus. But it's a Korean brand, and I finally heard a Korean person pronounce it, and they said Asus. Because it's the way it just translates.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get it. Let's see. Shout out to Death Taylor. Thank you so much. She says, no one sells the VR dream harder than Axel. I'm starting to think he's on the payroll. I told you guys I'm all in. I'm all into the metaverse. I'm all in. Let's see. Also, I don't know if you remember me, Axel. I'm Fred from the Game Complainer. I do remember you, Fred. I just didn't know you called yourself Slendy. Yes, of course. Oh, whoa, hold on. It's not a Korean brand. It's a Taiwan brand? So that maybe the Korean person told me the pronunciation wrong. Oh, man. Now I got to go listen to the way Taiwan people brand it. So, yeah. We're gonna see. Okay, so that's it with the MetaQuest VR. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I got to hit some buttons. Okay, this is going to be really big. Embracer Group has split into 3 companies, and they have split into a company called Asmodee, Coffee Stain and Friends, and Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. Now, we're not going to read all this because this thing on 11 font is like 10 pages long. So we're going to focus on what it's split up into. First off, the trouble episodes, the trouble continues for Embracer Group. If you know, they've been splitting off. They sold part of Gearbox. I think they sold part of Gearbox, right?
Yeah, they sold it to 2K or something.
Yeah, they sold Gearbox to 2K. They sold Tomb Raider basically to Amazon, the Crystal Dynamics. They licensed the Lord of the Rings stuff to Amazon, I think, as well. So, yeah, it's they've split up. So, Asmodee is a leading international publisher and distributor of board games and trading cards and digital board games with 23 fully owned studios and 300 plus IPs that constitutes the tabletop games operating segment of Embracer Group. So Asmodee, we're not going to list all this crap, guys, is going to do board games and tabletop and trading card games. Okay. Coffee Stain and Friends is intended to consist of leading publishers and developers focused on a variety of games for PC, console, mobile, including community-driven free-to-play games, live-op games, and indie AA games. So Coffee Stain and Friends is going to be basically their third-party publishing house. They're going to do the AA games. They're going to be their indie arm. Okay? So there we go. And so these are kind of giving some ideas of what they're going to be doing. Goat Simulator, Satisfactory, Wreckfest, Teardown Valheim, which is amazing. So yeah, they're doing all of these free to play, Sudoku.com, Block Kudoku, Jigsaw Puzzles, stuff like that. All right, and Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends is intended to remain a creative powerhouse in the AAA game development and publishing for PC and console. Notice no mobile. And the stewards of the Lord of the Rings and the Tomb Raider intellectual property. So some of the IPs they're going to be handling here, or studios, are right here. 4A Games, they're going to handle Dead Island. Right? You hear that, Death Dealer? Dead Island? Killing Floor, Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is about to get a sequel. The Lord of the Rings, Metro, the Tomb Raider franchise, amongst others. So that is what they're splitting them up to. So they're basically splitting them up to basically tabletop, AA, and AAA. What do you think of this split, Terry? Do you think this is good for Embracer Group to finally start categorizing all? You know, they bought all these publishers, and now they're taking each of these studios and putting them. Okay, you're going to be in this house. You're going to be in this house. You're no longer part of that publisher. Now you're part of this. Do you think it's good for them to organize under their corporate strategy this way and hopefully not have to sell things like part of Gearbox in the future?
I think this is actually good because Embracer has always been, just in investment, So it's like they keep collecting all of these franchises and studios and things, and like I just always kind of like imagine like Embracer is like they have like this closet and they just cram everybody in that closet, and they're like, if we see you, we'll get to you, kind of a thing. And everybody kind of gets forgotten, and then a lot of these studios that they have honestly haven't published anything in a good while either. So that's not good. So having to be able to essentially clean out the closet and give everybody their own space is good, because now we can start actually treating them like a gaming company that actually wants to make games instead of just, making investments. So I am for this. Hopefully it works out and these different studios can start performing better. Because it's not very good. And usually the only ones you ever think about up until prior to them buying, Gearbox and Crystal and all them, like the only other one you ever hear about actually producing stuff for Embracer is pretty much THQ. So
THQ,
like what,
yeah.
so like what's everybody else doing? So yeah, so this will be good. Let's start churning out some games. I know they have a lot of games in development right now, so hopefully with them splitting out, they can give the right amount of attention to each studio so that these games end up not being disasters. So
Mhm.
the, you gotta look at a lot of those studios that they have don't really produce games that anybody talks about. They got a couple big selling games, but for the most part, it's even THQ. THQ has some good stuff, but they also produce a lot of stuff that no one cares about. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I absolutely. To expand on what you're saying, some of the games that are listed, like Dead Island, I know about. Dead Island's obviously Dead Island 2 is in Game Pass, and it is definitely a AAA game. If you thought that other games were launching with bugs and crashes and all this stuff, Dead Island 2 launched in a pretty good dang state,
Yeah.
according to our Dead Island aficionado death dealer, with very few bugs. And she and a lot of people also echoed what that dealer said that played it. People she doesn't talk to. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. And maybe I'm coughing because I'm saying death dealer is right. Ugh. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Um, so she, that's definitely AAA. On the AA house, Valheim. I put like 200 hours into Valheim, and it's a fantastic game. 100% recommend. So I think that categorizing them will definitely let them get more focused, especially on budgetary needs and so forth and so on. I mean, they listed that, oh, this place is going to be in charge of 200 IPs. This place is going to be in charge of another 200 IPs. And what is it? The Lord of the Rings and Friends is going to be in charge of hundreds of IPs. That's 500 IPs that you're going to manage. So I think restructuring was needed when you have that many IPs. So I second what Terry said. Fastback, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. You definitely need to kind of, if it's just one big company and you have just a few people trying to manage all this and they don't know what they're doing with some of these properties, and you need to find the right people and to kind of break it up to different divisions, get the right people who know what they're doing, like like the board games. You
Mm-hmm.
want people to manage it who understand that, right?
Yeah,
And
card games are especially.
yeah. So it does make sense. I love the Tomb Raider franchise. Definitely loved playing Dead Island 2.
Mm-hmm.
And, we know they got some other games coming up I like to see, come out. So, yeah, hopefully this helps out the studios themselves and, be able to, they know who to go to green light a project or whatever. And, and who's managing them, right? And if you look at Xbox or Microsoft, they're the big, they have the money too, like Embracer, and they have so many divisions, and
Mm-hmm.
now that they've, they have different divisions. So you got Xbox, but then you got Bethesda, and now you have Activision, Blizzard. So Xbox, the way they're managing their studios and games, where they let Bethesda kind of control the Bethesda games, and then you got Activision. So they're going to manage it that way, because trying to have one management group, whatever, try handle everything, sometimes doesn't always work. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, this is Embracer Group needed to do something. I mean, they were bleeding money. They were bleeding studios. They kept having to sell the investments that they spent money to buy. Even some of them, they've sold them for more money than they bought it for. Tomb Raider comes to mind on that one. But Embracer, you spent a lot of money, and as gamers, we definitely want gaming divisions to produce more games.
mhm.
I might not like Embracer Group, as I think they're massive, and I feel that a lot of my loved IPs are at risk. So I want them to succeed. Definitely want them to succeed. And if this rebranding helps them succeed and keep my Tomb Raider alive, keep my Lord of the Ring games alive, keep giving me great AA experiences like Valheim. Uh, yeah, I'm definitely all for it. I'm definitely all for it. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see. Sith Lord says Axel and Asa need to do a podcast. He means a VR podcast. Hey, that would be awesome. I would love to be part of a VR podcast. That would be, yeah. Give Asa my contact info. I would definitely love that. Let's see. He's trying to copy my cool nickname that they calls me. It's Splendy for her and no one else. You hear that, Dread? Yeah, this is a little back and forth. Let's see. Slendy says, unfortunately, I have to get going, though. Take care, everyone. Have an awesome morning and stream. Also, hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Again, it helps us get this covered, especially in the live section of YouTube while we stream. And if you're new here and you're enjoying the show, be sure to subscribe. We're trying to get me to 500 subscribers. Guys, I really want to get to 500. Help me out. I counted it the other day. I am 161 subscribers away. So, guys, tell your family, tell your friends, tell them to hit that subscribe button and check out the show. But I do love that out of the subscribers I have a huge percentage that watch. I know some people that have a ton of subscribers and they get like 1% of their subscriber views. I am at about 10% of my subscribers viewing live at least every week. So I got a good subscriber retention, live retention. So I do love that. I might not be big, but you know what? My retention percentage, I'm like Nintendo. I got a good retention. Let's see. Pixel Slapper says, they scooped them developers while Microsoft dealt with ABK. Nothing like a conspiracy theory. Hey, you know what? If companies are selling, during a seller's market, they can definitely do that. But during a buyer's market, they got to compete. So the sale goes to whoever has the cash. That's the way I see it. And if Microsoft didn't offer up the cash, someone else did. So, yeah. And Jago Kukin agrees with everything. Dead Island 2, pretty much flawless when I played it. Anyways, good Sunday morning. And shout out to Jago Kukin. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And you are absolutely right. Pixel Slapper, I don't fully understand what you're trying to say here, bro. He says, Embracer are waiting for a hug off Microsoft. You mean a hug from Microsoft? If you can't clarify, I'll read it. Let's see. And I think that's it for the chat right now. Okay. Let's see. And I think that's it for the quick announcements. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. By the way, guys, those were meant as announcements. We spent an hour on announcements. Hey, so much for announcements, right?
Sorry, I think it's because of the NOG shirt I'm wearing. It has an effect on that, first part of the show. Because you know how NOG, an hour of announcements or introductions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's right. Jago Kukin rescued a dog the other day. Now that he's mentioning it, what's the dog's name?
I saw that on online. He posted.
Yeah, he posted on Twitter. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chill Walker said NFL draft finished yesterday, and all I can say is go Pack go. Go Pack go straight into another L season. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with you, Chill. All right, let's see. On to the next topic. Indie selects for April 2024 were announced. We're going to do this a little different this week, guys, as we usually spend a lot of time on indie selects. I'm trying to shorten it up. So we're going to go through it here. So as you know, the indie selects are a group of indies that Microsoft wants to advertise front and center in their own tab on the indie tab. And they are not on Game Pass. Boo, boo. They're not on Game Pass, but good for them. There's still great indie games that don't make it to Game Pass. So let's check some of these out. Up first is Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles. And we are going to go straight into the trailer, guys. We're just not even going to read anything. Here we go. Trailer time. Can you guys hear it?
Do you have what it takes to become a master builder?
This looks cool. I like the
To
art style
create
already.
and build, they become one with the land itself, revealing its potential through experimentation and exploration.
That looks cool. Okay, I'm not going to lie. This looks like an
Imagine
Axel
a
game.
bridge across a chasm. The master follows the cracks and movements of the rocks, revealing what may
I
become.
love me some building games.
I do too.
The
Wow.
master poses the riddle,
And then it
the
looks
rocks
completely,
provide the answer.
Steampunk. I love steampunk as an
Yeah.
art style.
This world reveals
Also a little
its
bit like that one
resources
game, Falconeer.
easily, allowing mere men to pick a way and find the ore. But it takes a true master to deliver those resources to where they are needed most. To move beyond these rocks. To make the water answer the call of the master. Shallows and depths, pirates and raiders, mere obstacles. Another puzzle for the master to extract from the landscape.
We are providing cover for your trade routes. No hostiles in sight.
Out there are other people
Look at this
doing their
cool
best to
steampunk
survive,
designs.
seeking not to succumb to the forces of the Great Earthsea. And just like the flows of rock and water, the master must reveal their place and purpose.
Spoiling for the fight, are we?
Violence may come. The tool of those who refuse the call
Airship
of the
battles
landscape.
like in
Who seek to command a world that cannot be controlled. The true master understands this. Submit to the landscape, and the strength of rock and water become yours. The shelter of the world, your bulwark, unbreakable and eternal.
All right. Bulwark. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Terry,
what
I'm
did
down
you
for this. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Fastback. You're excited. What do you think? Are you gonna get it?
Yeah, let's go. I'm
Yeah,
excited
that
for
looked
this. That's
good.
cool. Yeah.
Terry, what do you think? Does this look like a Terry game?
It's not a Terry game, but you know what it gives me vibes of? It's like if you were to take Waterworld and you were to jump like I don't know, like 100 years into the future,
Yeah.
like so it's like Waterworld with blimps, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, no, it's not my kind of game. I just don't have time for this stuff.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Up next on the Indie Selects is House Flipper 2. For those of you that may have only played House Flipper 1, they got House Flipper 2. Let's check it out.
Hello there. Look who's decided to message me after all these years. So, you're back in Pinnacle. I'm so glad we're going to work together.
Gladys Thorne calling. I hope not answering the phone means you're wrapped up in work.
Okay. Floor is lava. I have no idea what's happening. Terry.
Okay, so as someone who played House Flipper 1 and loved it, I played it on PC, loved it so much I bought it on the Switch. This is exciting. I don't really see myself playing it on Xbox though. I feel like it's just one of these kind of games just are better on handheld. So this is, I don't play very many handheld games, but House Flipper is perfect. So I would probably get this on Switch just so I can, just kind of mess around with it a little bit before I go to bed or whatever. But yeah, no, this is cool. I don't know. Like House Flipper is one of those things where like the trailers are always terrible, but like the gameplay is very addictive and it's fun. So yeah, I'm excited and yeah, I guess this is actually a game that I want for Switch, which is I get like one game for Switch maybe in a year. So this is my game.
Okay. All right. Cool. Fastback, House Flipper.
I played the first one. I enjoy. I played on Xbox. Just kind of chill in the morning. Mess around with it. And me and the wife, we like watching HGTV, and we like to kind of update our house once in a while here and there. Like right now, we're remodeling our restroom. So I mean, stuff like this, as you get older and an adult, you start wearing, New Balance shoes and all that. I guess maybe these games kind of appeal to you a little more. So no, I'm glad it's coming out, and I'll be interested. I'll play it. I'll buy it.
Okay. All right. And I'm out. I'm sorry, I'm out. Shout out to Six Slayer who joins us. He says, "Good morning, gamers. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP." My
Max,
wife
so if
says
you would play
this one
this
is
game,
cool, so she's interested in House Flipper.
there you go.
I'm not.
See, your room is bland in the background, sir. You need to play this game so you can get
Yeah.
an idea
I
how
need
the
to learn how to
walls might
flip.
look your floor and paint.
Shout out to DE. Thank you so much for joining us, DE. You are the real MVP. DE says, all I heard was House Flipper 2 and somebody yawning. That's funny. That's funny. My beautiful wife says, Mr. Tony Grosso will like this. Yeah, he would.
There you go.
He would. And here we go. The dog's name, they named him Dasher at the SPCA because he likes to dash outdoors when open, and I haven't changed it because he knows it very well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Dasher. All right. So there we go. Okay. Up next is a game called Broken Roads. It's $39.99. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. House Flipper is 30. For some reason, it's in euros. I don't know why it's in euros. It's 33 euros, but basically $40. Bulwark is $19.99. And Broken Hands is $39.99. Or Broken Road. All right, let's see. Preview trailer or launch trailer? Let's look at the launch trailer. I like launch trailers. Broken Road. Oh, a tactical RPG. I can already tell.
Broken Roads is a post-apocalyptic, narrative-driven RPG set in the desolate beauty of the vast Australian outback.
The outback, baby.
To survive, you'll have to make tough choices guided by the moral compass, an all-new alignment system that will test your worldview against nihilist, humanist, utilitarian, and Machiavellian ideas. Become a hired gun, a jackaroo, a surveyor, or a member of a barter crew.
A jackaroo.
And discover their unique attribute bonuses, starting skills, and reputation within the world. Form bonds with a diverse cast of companions, each with their own moral leaning and ideal outcome for the many challenges you'll face on your journey across Western Australia. Broken Roads is available now.
Okay, Broken Roads.
Dingo ate my baby.
A dingo. All right, Terry, are you going to become a jackaroo and play Broken Roads?
This is my style of game. It's just one of those things. I think this one is single player, though. And I just don't have time for single player. I only play whenever I do get time to play games. I end up playing with my one friend. So if it's not co-op, it just sits in the backlog for a good long while. Like I bought Dragon's Dogma and I played it like briefly, and I haven't touched it since because I just don't have time for single player. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get to it one day, but it is my type of game. It's just I need co-op or bust. So
Okay. Fastback, are you interested in Broken Roads?
Yeah. I love the games like this, State of Decay, post-apocalyptic games, like Fallout. So this is up my alley. I like this style. And I get up early in the morning. Terry, you need to get up at 4 a.m. and then you can play the single player games before everybody else gets up. And
yeah, so I wake up at 5 and I go to work.
Well, if you wake up at 4, you got an hour to game.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll be too tired.
You just install the TV in front of the toilet. Just put an Xbox controller and hook up to the cloud, baby.
Take your Switch with you and play it everywhere. But yeah, I'm down for this. I would definitely play this.
So I actually heard about Broken Roads before, and I watched some gameplay of it from someone I trust very much. And after watching him play for an hour, I've come to the conclusion that half of the game is good and the other half is not. The RPG, it's an RPG, but every RPG quest on this is a fetch quest that I saw in the first hour. Everything is a fetch quest. And if there's anything I hate in RPG, it's just fetch, 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 fetch. So, and while you're out in the fetch quest, you get into fights and stuff, that's the good part.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just don't like fetch questing. I'm sorry. Broken Roads, you have half of what I like and half of what I don't. And for that, I'm going to pass.
Well, you can't drive Uber cars and DoorDash in the post-apocalyptic world, so you need someone to go fetch your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. It's just not gonna be me. Sorry, if I'm in the apocalypse, I'm not getting that. Yeah, sorry.
You just want to be a Mad Max and go around and
That's right.
shoot people and
Yes. So this one is a no for me. Sorry. Okay, up next is a game called Lamasoft, the Jeff Winter story. It is 24.99 euros, which is 29.99 American. Don't ask me how I do the math. I am an engineer. Math is my strong point. I just do it in my head. Okay, it's easy. Okay. All right, here we go. Some of it is easy. Lamasoft.
I've been lucky that so far in my career I've always managed to work on stuff that I want to do. I want to make an experience which is just makes you smile, which gives you that buzz, which just makes you feel good.
Jeff was one of the true originals in gaming. Like, there's no one else like him.
The first time I loaded up Revenge of the Mutant Camels, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Am I being chased by an umbrella?
Everyone else was just a company or a product, and Jeff was Jeff.
What he makes is him.
I remember lying in my...
From the critically acclaimed creator of Atari 50, the making of Karateka, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Kawabunga collection. Okay.
I remember lying in my bedroom in the dark and listening to Pink Floyd. And in my head, I would imagine like sort of abstract geometric shapes. And so I came up with this like 1K program, which I called Psychedelia. Does this work? I think it works. Maybe people don't agree with me, but at least I tried.
Tempest 2000, that was the flagship game. That was the killer app.
32 Lamasoft games. Oh.
He's an artist that just gets more and more powerful. I want to enjoy what I do. I want to feel happy with the things that I've made, and I want to make things that I want to play with.
$30 for 42 games. Okay, Lamasoft, the Jeff Minter story. Okay, Terry, what do you think?
It's not for me. I'm not real big on the Atari genre. Like that whole generation. I know it was like it started gaming, but like no, I have no interest in any of the games from Atari, and or learning about how they were made. So I'm good.
Okay. Fastback, what do you think?
I think it's a great idea. I love Digital Eclipse because they are the best at doing this stuff where they bring old games and kind of it's like game preservation updated, and they did the Atari 50, and so this is what they do. They show the backstory. They have they tell you the history of it, the developers, the game. Like they're doing right here, chronological story, and then you kind of learn. So I mean, I know it's not for everybody, the old arcade Atari games back then. Some people it doesn't appeal to them, right? That's aesthetics, but I think it's cool to have, and there are people out there who like it. So I don't know for sure I would buy it, but maybe.
Yeah, this is a maybe on my thing. Like,
it's different.
I might buy this one on sale.
Yeah,
because I don't know if I can bring myself to buying it full price, $30. But for old Atari games, because I'm like Terry, I really don't care about Atari games, but I do love video gaming history because I feel that it could be, good for me to study that as I do love video games. So part of loving video games, loving your craft, is knowing the history of video games. So yeah.
Yeah, because you do learn from some of these guys. Like you never hear about them, right? Like we're all on the newer, modern, and then when you look back, you're like, "Well, oh, this guy actually worked on this game that I liked back then," or so on. They're the reason why this game came about. So it is interesting.
So this one is a maybe for me.
I like to have a split difference. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I was with Split Difference. I was not expecting that. What the heck is that? Yeah. And Doggy Dog says, right, Fastback, Digital Eclipse is great.
Yeah, they are.
And
because they were responsible for the Ninja Turtle Yeah. So yeah, and I think they just recently teamed up with Atari. They're gonna be doing more of these. So
that's cool. That's cool. Six Layer says keeps the history alive. It does. And shout out to Jason Max. Thank you so much for joining us. He says, just remember, Xbox is number one. Oh, we're about to talk how number one they are here a little bit later. All right. And last but not least on the April video games is Grandia HD collection for $40. $40. Let's get right into it. Yes. Yes. Sega Saturn's calling to me. Sega Saturn calling to me right now. Look at this looks. With the OG. That was so revolutionary because it mattered where you were on the field. You know, good job, you guys. You got him. Okay, Terry, Grandia, the HD collection, Grandia from the Sega Saturn, and Grandia 2 from the Sega Dreamcast. What do you think?
I mean, I think this is great that they're bringing these back, but like it's a pass for me. I just don't play JRPGs, so this is one of those things that I know Shaddai would be excited about, but it's not for me.
Okay, Fastback, what do you think?
I think it's cool they're bringing it out, but like Terry, it's not for me. I'm not into JRPGs.
Oh.
When I was in younger days, I was, but I'll let you have this one, Axel.
This is in my wish list. I 100% want Grandia HD collection. I'm glad that they finally ported it over to Xbox. My favorite part about this is that instead of now having fan translations for Grandia, they brought official translations, so I actually get to find out if they really said what the translation said. So we'll see what happens when I get this and finally play it. But it is 100% on my to-buy list. I'm just waiting for it to go. If it was for $30, I'd buy it right now. But I feel like $40 is a little steep. And I only say that because I played Grandia 1. I haven't played Grandia 2 yet. I've only seen it ported, and you have to get the language mod and all this other stuff. And I just never did any of that. So, yeah. So that is it for April's Indie Selects. So just to recap, you have Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles. Looks like the Falconeer. You said it, Fastback.
Mm-hmm.
You have House Flipper 2. Broken Roads. Lamasoft, the Jeff Minter story. And Grandia HD collection. Oh, there's another one. Space Club. I forgot Space Club. Oh my God.
Mm.
I thought that was it. Sorry. Let's check out Space Club real quick. Sorry, guys. I thought it was only 5. Space Club. Sorry. My bad. Didn't mean to ignore you. Let me do it. Sorry, guys.
Wings, racing gloves, let's navigate jets. Baby, but don't you dare laugh. Trace constellations or pave your own path. Settle on a system will be a nomad. The skies like limits and wait for no man. Light speed or slow, always keep composed and know if we cross those. I'm traveling by starlight on cruise control. Traveling by starlight.
Super Space Club just launched. Terry, what do you think about Super Space Club?
No, that's not my thing. I thought the song was cool though.
Yeah.
but no, it's not my thing. Kind of look like kind of like a shmup, but slower paced and more exploration. Maybe I don't really know what's going on in that. It kind of looked more like a shmup. And I don't play them.
Okay. Fastback, what do you think?
I'm down. It's looked like an updated asteroids in color and some music at the club.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if this has more music to it. And I love the art style. I'm down. I'll chill with this. Once in a while.
This looks like a asteroid game, but it looks like a connected world instead of levels.
Yeah, that's cool.
Where you do missions, so I'm totally down. I played an old game on my Dreamcast called Armada. That was basically that, and the music wasn't great, but man, it was. I had a lot of fun playing it. All right, back to this. All right, so
Jago, this is Space Street Boys.
Space Street Boys, yeah. Who's singing this song in the back? Who is singing this song? The Backstreet Boys. It's the Space Street Boys. I thought it was a boy band simulator. Yeah. Let's see. All right, so guys, those are the 6 games. Sorry, I thought there was only 5. 6 indie selects this month. Terry, how many of the 6 interested you?
2.
Which 2?
So it's going to be Broken Roads and House Flipper 2.
And House Flipper 2. All right. Fastback, how many of these interested you?
Bulwark, House Flipper 2, Broken Roads, and then the last one.
And then Super Space Club.
Yeah.
So you have 4 that interested you.
Yeah. And I am interested in the Llama Stop, but like I said, I probably wouldn't buy it full price.
Yeah. So let's see. Bulwark definitely interested me. Pass on House Flipper. Pass on Broken Roads. Llama Soft interested me. And this is just interest, not that I'm going to buy. It's interest level, okay?
Yeah.
Interest. Grande HD Collection interested me. And I need to know about Super Space Club. So I'm going to stick with 3 for sure. So 3 out of the 5. 50% interested me. So that's not bad at all. Chat, there is a poll up in the chat to let us know how many of these interested you. Guys, of the Xbox Indie Selects for April. And I feel like this time the session went much faster. What do you think, Terry?
Agreed. We didn't have to read the whole synopsis.
Instead of 45.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. And I'd like to see them do more of this. Spotlight, bring these out to, spotlight these every month.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like this, the Indie Spotlight. I do really enjoy it. I'm going to add some of these to my wish list here after the show.
Yeah.
And shout out to Dreadpool. Thank you so much for joining us, Dreadpool. You are the real MVP. Let us know how your red carpet thing is going. Did you meet anyone famous? Did you meet anyone famous? And I'm talking like super famous, not kind of famous, super famous. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and end the poll there. I think that's enough time. Terry, how does the chat feel? How many interested them?
Right, 60% said 1 to 2, 30% were 3 to 4, and 10% were 0. And nobody liked 5 to 6.
Awesome. So yeah, 1 and 2. I mean, hey, that's good for them, right? Shout out to Brando Calrissian. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says Grande looks cool, but I know I will never play it more than an hour. Oh man, buy it on sale, bro. And sticking to indies, everybody, it is time for Terry's Indie Spotlight.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Indie Spotlight. Oh, Luna's even excited. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys a game that this is an Axel game. Okay, we're gonna show you an Axel game.
Woo! It's the
That's
best game
in-game
ever.
preview. I will calm down. I'm gonna make that disclaimer. This game is in-game preview. All right, let's go.
Oh, anybody know what game this is? I didn't see it. Yes. Download it on PC Game Pass now. Watching this hype. Yes. Yes. Terry's muted. Terry's muted.
Yeah, so Manor Lords, like I said, this is an Axel game. So this is one of the most highly wish-listed games in a while for Steam, for indies. And it just recently dropped in early access on Steam, and then not too shortly thereafter, it also came on PC Game Pass. Now this is a PC only game, you guys. You can't get it on console, so you're gonna have to either play it on Steam or PC Game Pass. Now it retails for $40. Steam has it 25% off right now, so you can get it for $30, or you get it PC Game Pass. Okay, can't stress that
Game
enough.
Pass, baby.
PC Game Pass. So go ahead and have some fun. This is a strategy game. It's a city builder game that has resource management, and then you have your real-time tactical battles so that you can, expand and conquer. So have some good fun with that. And this is a passion project. This is made by a solo dev. Okay, one guy.
Solo.
One guy, spent his life making this game for you all, and it's been
What have I been doing with my life if
huge,
you put out a game like this? What have I been doing?
huge positive reviews. I think he's closing in on like 5,000 positive reviews on Steam right now. And so yeah, he's so give him time. It's early access. He's gonna have to make fixes here and there. And he's one guy, so be patient. But have some fun. Enjoy it.
Yes, absolutely. I've been loving this game. The best part about this game is you can if you have a villager and you tell him, hey, you are gonna be my carpenter, and you say, okay, build me a house. He will go out to the forest, chop the tree. You can follow this. Chop the tree, drag the tree back to the village, and start chopping the tree into pieces, and then grab the pieces and put them together and build your house. And then when he's done with that tree, he'll go get another one. And they have day-night cycles. It's not like how a lot of strategy games are like, hey, you're going to be wood gatherers, but I want you to build it over here. So you builders are going to do this. No, it's like the same guy does all that for you, right? Or you saw the blacksmith hammering stuff. They will go dig the ore, bring the ore back, hammer it, and light it up to make your swords and stuff. So this game is deep, people management. If your town is not big enough, you can't expand enough. You want to build an army? You got to recruit your army from your village. Okay, and you saw when you hit the little recruit army window, it showed how many people were in each house. You could recruit from like single houses, and that house becomes abandoned. And if that guy dies, he will not be replaced in that thing. So like permadeath is a thing of your villagers. It's super cool, super duper cool. Love it. So yeah, definitely a great game. Definitely recommend.
I'm down for that. I love games like this. I played Medieval Dynasty. I think Terry you showed that once, and it's in Game Pass. And but this, I love Age of Empires and all this. So a little bit of management. I like what you were saying, how you could pick someone to go do this and let them go do the grinding, and then while you're managing everything from top down, right? And and then you got the battle aspect too.
Yeah. Or if you want, you can also go down and, because you're the Lord, you look very different compared to your villagers. You can walk the village and see how much they like or hate you. It's a really neat little concept game. And of course, it's going to have bugs, all that crap. It's a one guy job. Right. But shout out to him for making something that no one else has thought of. Yes. Shout out to him. And also shout out to Sir X-Man. Shout out to Sir X-Man. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much. And he says, that's how wars start. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Sir X-Man. Thank you so much. All right, moving on to the next topic here. And another fantastic indie spotlight by Terry, of course. So, guys, I don't know if you know this, but there's been a rumor about Gears 6 being shown off at the June showcase. And Liam J. McIntyre, if you don't know who he is the voice actor for JD on Gears of War. So JD is Marcus's son, JD Phoenix. And he says, so what's happening to JD? Is his death canon at Gears of War? And Liam McIntyre says, I have no idea. I think Gears of War will tell us all in June. Hinting that, hey, June is expected. We're going to see who got decided to be spared or killed by, depending on gamer choices, of course. So we will see that here soon. So Liam adding fuel to the fire of Gears of War coming to Xbox. Terry, are you excited for this? I know you're a Gears head.
Yeah, I do really enjoy Gears. I have mixed feelings when it comes to Gears, as I feel like some fans do. So I mean, if they're going to continue the story, they have to continue it strong. I felt like when they ended it after 3, that was a pretty good cutoff, but then they were just kind of milking it. I didn't like the whole idea that they did with the Hive. I felt like they were just trying to reskin the Locust. I was like, this is dumb. So, but they introduced some some decent characters and whatnot within the journey between 4 and 5. So I mean, if they're gonna keep going, as long as it has a strong story, I'm all for it, and it better not have a bad launch like 5 did for me, because that's the biggest turnoff for me is if I can't play the game properly. Like the game was unplayable.
Gears 5?
Yeah, it was unplayable. My missions wouldn't progress, and it was a horrible mess. So
stop downloading viruses, Terry.
Didn't, but I was playing co-op, and I'm trying to play the game with my buddy, and it was just a horrible experience. So it's definitely probably my most hated game, just because it was so rough when I played it. I'm sure if I went back to it now that they've had years to fix it, it probably would be a different experience. My other worry is that they're going to try to focus too much on open world, and I don't want them going that direction. They already kind of did that with the sleds and whatnot, and I don't want them to do that. Gears has always been linear for the most part, so they need to keep it that way. I apologize for my audio. Okay, I know. All right. They had
We'll get it fixed by next week, guys.
They had an update and it messed up my settings, and I don't know how to fix it. Okay, I went from having just one setting on my Yeti to now they gave me like 100 settings, and none of them make sense. Okay, but yeah, no. Just gotta see what happens. Hopefully, it's gonna be good. That's about it. I really can't get too excited because, like I said, I kind of have mixed feelings with Gears. I feel like first 3 were that, and they should just end it there. I really feel like they've just been kind of milking it.
Okay. All right. Very, very controversial thoughts here from Terry. Fastback, do you agree with Terry that Gears 5 wasn't that good?
Actually,
for Gears 6?
I enjoyed 5. I love open world games, but I think that they kind of like it was half ass a little bit. Like it wasn't. I feel like if you're gonna do, it should have been more to do in between when you're traveling. But we'll see. I agree. I don't think the next one has to be like that. I'm okay if they don't do that, and just make it a good, big, final story for this trilogy. And I'm not surprised. Like the actor kind of revealed this, but Jeff Grubb kind of already said that we're going to see this in June. So I'm excited. I love Gears. I've been there since day one, and I look forward to seeing this. I know on Gears 5, if I was playing co-op with one other person, 2 people, it was fine. But when the 3 of us were playing, we had issues.
Really? Wow. You guys need to fix your internet.
No, but this was in the beginning. Well, it could have been one of us, right? Maybe. But, like if it was 3 of us playing, one of us crashed to the dashboard, and then we had to come back in and stuff like that. So it was a little bit of a hassle. But in the end, I enjoyed playing this co-op. So I look forward to see what they show in June.
Okay. Well, I loved Gears 5. I thought the story was great. I especially loved that the collectibles finally had something to do with the story. Like it expanded the lore of how the Locust became the Hive. It expanded the lore of how Kate is related to the Queen. Spoiler, right? It expanded all of that. I love that it took basically JD and turned him into an a-hole, much like father, like son. And I love that the main story revolved around Kate. We'll see where Gears 6 runs. I have long said I think Gears 6 is going to revolve around Dell, because the first one revolved around JD, the second one around Kate, and I feel like the third one is going to be Dell's story. So where we are definitely going to see where that goes.
And I'm curious too, like the choice that you made in the end on 5, like
who did
how
you
that's
save?
going to be a different experience for everybody, right? We'll see.
Maybe it goes off your save file. Maybe it will take whoever was picked more.
Yeah,
to be saved. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Terry, who did you save?
I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time.
I saved Dell.
You saved Dell? It was Dell and who was it?
JD.
JD. Jesus, I can't remember. I probably saved Dell. I don't know. I don't really like JD.
Because JD turned into an a-hole and Dell was with me the whole time. I saved him.
I honestly I don't remember, but I might have saved Dell just because I never really liked JD as a character.
Oh, how could you hate Marcus's son? Fastback, who did you save?
I saved JD mainly because of his dad. Like I wanted to continue that story with those 2 going for it. So
we'll see what happens. Somebody died, and it's very interesting to see who died. Which was the original question in the in here was, wait, so what's happening to JD? Is his death canon at Gears of War? So we'll see what happens. Who died? Yeah. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Terry's audio is terrible. And then Terry started yelling, "Don't bully us because your audio is bad." And Pixel Slapper says, "Google it, Terry." Let's see. Jiggle says the original trilogy was fire and should have stopped, but since it didn't just make Gear 6 linear like the original, enough of that half but open world nonsense. I disagree.
Diego gets it.
Give me full open world.
He agrees with me. He gets it.
I played Gears 4, and I got to tell you, I hated that linear stuff. And I played Gears 4 a ton of times. I've played Gears 5 a ton of times, and I'm telling you, it's so much better. In my head, it's so much better. Let's see. Shout out to MBG. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Let's see. MBG says, I'll play Gears 6 on PS5 Pro. You might not be wrong. You might not be wrong. I've long said that a lot of these games are going to come out. That 100% of games are going to be multi-plat in the future.
That ain't happening.
It is happening. It is happening.
Not these main franchises, but we'll see.
That's what you say. That's what you say.
I could be wrong.
You're wrong. Just so you know, you are wrong.
If I'm wrong, I'll come on there and admit it.
And you want to know how I know you're wrong? Because they said the same thing about PC. Not everything's going to go to PC. And then guess what happened? Guess what happened? Guess. Everything's on PC.
Yeah. But Microsoft is PC, but we don't have to go there. But I will say, the day we see Mario on Xbox and PlayStation, we'll see Gears and Halo on PlayStation and Nintendo. So.
I don't think we're ever going to see Mario like just between you and me. What Xbox
does?
does,
I know.
Xbox believes that everybody will follow this trend of going full multi-platform, but I highly doubt it.
No, I know. Nintendo's Nintendo. They won't. But I don't see Sony doing the same thing, like putting Last of Us and their main franchises on Xbox. So why would Xbox do that? Got to have some reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been over this.
Mm-hmm.
I still have very strong feelings against it. I don't think those feelings are ever going to change. I really do think that all of Xbox franchises are going to go to everywhere else, giving me zero reason to buy an Xbox console. Of course, I'll still be an Xbox PC gamer, though. So don't think that I'm going to give up being an Xbox guy. I'm just saying it's going to change how I game, which is fine. I've changed how I gamed before, and I'm going to change how I game again. I mean, that's the thing about gaming. You got to keep up with the Joneses, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so with Gear 6 coming in, I hope everybody loves Gear 6. Let's see. Henry Jones. Shout out to Henry Jones. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. We're really going to see Gear 6 gameplay before Perfect Dark? We might. I mean, you never know what they're going to show.
I mean, Coalition's been around longer than...
they're full of surprises.
Yeah. I mean, Coalition's been around longer than the what's the studio doing Perfect Dark? So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Initiative.
Yeah, Initiative. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, and Coalition finished Gears 5 before the Initiative was done. So they've probably been concepting Gear 6 for a while. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm down. I'm ready.
PlayStation needs some games. Just saying. Yeah. Let's see. Either do full open world or not at all. But I'd prefer no open world into games that wasn't designed around it. Hey, you know, a lot of games weren't designed for 3D, and now they're full 3D and they're great. You just got to go with the Joneses, man. Again, you gotta keep up with it. Got to keep up with it. And shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. We appreciate you. Let's see. The one thing I do hope that if they do go open world that they don't do is give us a bunch of filler. I don't like filler. You know, so if I want to skip all the side missions and stuff in the open world, I should have that option and just play the linear campaign open world.
Yeah, it should be an option.
Yeah. But if you're going to do open world, you got to basically do like a Ubisoft open world. Just pack it full of crap to do. You know? That's all I'm saying. Henry Jones says, Tomb Raider makes the right size worlds. Hey, that's what they were trying with Gears 5. So, yeah, but Tomb Raider I do love my Tomb Raider games and the open world hub they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Totally agree. All right, let's see. I think that's it for now on Gears 6. Anything else related to the announcement? Nope. Everybody's just excited.
No, coming up soon.
Coming up soon. All right, let's move on to the main topic of the show. The Xbox fiscal year 2024 QT gaming revenue is up 51% year over year thanks to the Activision Blizzard acquisition. So Xbox doing great. And this comes to us from Windows Central. All right. And I'm only going to read the bullet points, guys, as there's a lot here. All right. So Microsoft shared its financial results for fiscal year 2024 Q3, the quarter ending on March 31st, 2024. Gaming revenue was up 51%, with growth coming from the addition of Activision Blizzard revenue compared to 2023. Xbox content and services is up 62%. year over year, baby. But Xbox hardware revenue is down 31% year over year. They didn't even sell 1 million consoles this quarter. So that is where we have been, where we are. And they go on to talk about how all this added to it, right? Fiscal year. So, in truth, we'll get the first real one next year, as this is the first time ABK. Now, ABK was reported in Q2, but only at the tail end, only like a week or two's worth of Q2. So this is the first time we see ABK being reported for the whole quarter, and next quarter is when we're going to see a true quarter-to-quarter comparison on the new Xbox ABK stuff. So, guys, this is great news for Xbox, right? Everything is up except for hardware, but everything is up, guys. Gaming revenue is up, content and services is up, and Xbox has over 125 million monthly active users right now, which beats out PlayStation's 123 last reported 123 million. I think they're going to report theirs next week. So Xbox, for selling less consoles, has just as many monthly active users thanks to PC, baby. So and also thanks to ABK. Terry, this is nothing but good news, right?
Yeah, I mean the hardware stuff is bad, but otherwise, yeah, lots of good news. This is the future, services and whatnot. So.
Absolutely. Hold on, I'm gonna switch real quick, guys. Sorry, I gotta switch. Here we go. Okay, yeah. I don't think they put any charts on here. No, they didn't. So there are some charts. Let me roll over to the charts here, guys, that I want to show. Fastback, this is all good news, right?
Yes, it is. Regardless of the additional increases from Activision Blizzard, doesn't matter. They're part of Activision and Microsoft now. So, and like you said, it can only get better. Hardware, to me, it's not a big deal because it's all about engagement. It's all about the software.
It's all about those monthly active users, baby.
Yes, so they got a lot of that, and that's what's more important because you can play Xbox on multiple devices. So it is what it is. You're not relying on one device to try to cram every game in and force everybody to play on one device. I mean, I know people don't like to hear that, but consoles aren't going away. So they'll still be there. They're part of the pie.
Yep. Console market isn't growing, but it isn't going away.
No. It'll have its moments. Mm-hmm. And then you figure next quarter, you're going to have a Fallout increase, from all this Fallout excitement. So we'll see how that adds up.
Yeah. So this one comes from The Verge that says Microsoft is now expecting Q4 devices revenue. Now, they're talking about all devices. They're not just talking about Xbox devices. They're talking about Surface laptops, Surface things, right? Because they stopped making them, waiting for new chipsets to come in, and so they are in the design phase. So they have stopped making them, and so during this next quarter, they expect them to be down because they're not going to replenish stock.
Yeah.
Until the new stuff comes. So yeah, is expecting Q4 devices revenue to decline again in the mid-teens. So they're going to expect about a 15% decrease from this quarter to next quarter. According to CFO Amy Hood, Windows OEM revenue growth should be in the low to mid single digits. Q4, the PC market volumes are expected to continue at pre-pandemic levels. Over on the Xbox and gaming side, Xbox content and service revenue, which includes Xbox Game Pass, is up 62%. This is once again thanks to ABK making up the bulk of the revenue. Of course, in February, Xbox show said that Xbox Game Pass has grown to 34 million subscribers, including Xbox Game Pass Core. So yeah, that's good. So here's another quote. We're expanding our games. This is from Satya. We're expanding our games to new platforms, bringing 4 of our fan favorites to Nintendo Switch and Sony PlayStation for the first time, said Satya Nadella. In fact, earlier this month, we had 7 games among the top 25 PlayStation Store, more than any other publisher, including PlayStation themselves.
And from what I understand, So if you play Sea of Thieves on PlayStation, you have to log into an Xbox account.
Definitely a
I
Microsoft
heard
account.
that, but
Yeah, Microsoft account. Yeah,
so that adds, right?
that's right. Monthly active users. It's all about
Yeah.
MA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Despite some early successes for Xbox games on rival platforms, Xbox hardware is down by a massive 31% this quarter. A big drop following a soft quarter for Xbox sales during the all-important holiday season last year. Microsoft admits the obvious in its earnings filings that the big drop was driven by lower volume of consoles sold. But overall, gaming revenue is up 51%, bolstered by the Activision Blizzard revenue, which contributed 55% of net impact. In other words, the 51%, about 25% of it was, or about 26% of it was Activision Blizzard, and the rest was. So when you normalize these two, it's about, what are we looking at here? 51, 55. Yeah, about 26, 27% of it was Activision Blizzard, and the rest of it was other titles, non-ABK. That means without Activision Blizzard, Microsoft's overall gaming revenue would have actually declined this quarter. Maybe, I don't know, because there's still the 40-something percent. That's weird. Okay. The newly acquired division recorded 1.97 billion during the quarter three, but the cost of integration, transaction costs, and other costs of revenue totaled 980 million. Oh, boohoo. With other operating expenses, 1.34 billion. It calculates to an overall operating loss of 350 million for ABK. Xbox content services would only have been up a single percent without ABK, so it's clear that this giant purchase is already having a big impact on Microsoft's overall gaming revenues. It looks like next quarter is going to be a similar story for gaming at Microsoft too. Microsoft CFO Amy Hood says the company is expecting Xbox hardware revenues to decline again next quarter, alongside overall gaming revenue growth in the low to mid 40% region. So instead of 50, it's going to be 40. Around 50% of impact from ABK. Xbox content and services revenue is expected to be in the high 50% region in Q4, driven by 60 points impact by ABK. Okay, so. And then it goes on to cloud and other stuff. Okay, so. Overall, everything is looking good for Game Pass. The ABK stuff is looking good. Some people are saying, oh, without ABK, Xbox would be in an L this quarter. And maybe they wouldn't, maybe they wouldn't. Gaming revenue is hard to grow when you don't sell consoles. I'm sorry to say, if you don't control the stores, you don't get that much money. If you don't control the platform, you don't get that much money. And of course, Xbox bet big on cloud, but Apple then kind of crushed those dreams. And so they're finding out that if they don't own the platform, they don't get to dictate their own future, which is why I believe hardware is not going anywhere, right? Because they're finding out that, man, if we don't have the hardware, we can't dictate the future of gaming the way we want to, because we don't control the mobile hardware. And, Apple is just being Apple. They're not going to let themselves be controlled by another company or let anybody take control of their platform, any monetization on their platform in any which way. So Xbox is trying to do what they're trying to do. Whether it's good or bad for you, it's up for you to decide whether you agree with the direction. But they are trying to keep Xbox open. And, this investment into Activision Blizzard, I think it's great. It's obviously showing great returns, and it's going to continue to show great returns in the future as the gaming division keeps growing and growing, So, the next Call of Duty launching, and if it launches on Xbox Game Pass day and date, you can expect those subscriber numbers to explode.
There are going to be moments where, depending on what type of game comes out that is very popular, you're going to have more growth during those months, those games release, right? And if those games are considered a system seller, hardware may move up. I mean, it's like that for every platform. Even Switch and PlayStation, if they don't have the software to move those hardware, then they're not going to sell as many, right? So I mean, it's the same for everybody. But Xbox has always been behind as far as hardware. So but now you have the Bethesda, the ZeniMax, all those divisions. You have the and Activision Blizzard. Now Xbox have more of a chance to where they'll have multiple games come out every quarter that can get that excitement for people to want to buy hardware. So we'll see.
Absolutely. I think this is, Xbox is going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to hit that cloud because they definitely, when they went Windows Phone and they weren't making the impact they made and they got out of the market, now, 20 years later, they're feeling the impact of them getting out of that. If Windows Phone was still a thing, you can bet your butt that they would be showing everybody, look what Xbox can do on Windows Phone, and we want to do that on all phones, right? So we'll see how it goes in the future.
And like you said, they it's like the VR, instead of going full in on their own, taking full responsibility, they kind of teamed up with Meta. And as far as the phones, they team up with the other, but they teamed up more with Samsung than Apple and Google.
Samsung
So,
and Samsung TVs are in the cloud. So they got to keep investing in that cloud and growing it as
they do.
I think it's going to be a big driver in the future, especially as these young kids. We're older. We have a certain way of playing games, but these young Gen X these young Gen Z gamers are very much into their devices, and Xbox just has to find a way to get their games on their device on those
They'd
devices.
rather just download the app and play the game there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. Pixel slapper. That spoon deserves a stir at Axel. This one right here, get you some ASMR. Let's see. Shout out to Mike Clark. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, I'm so invested in the Xbox ecosystem. I can't afford to switch. LOL. Well, except for Switch 2. Absolutely. I cannot wait for the Switch 2. Strax Man keeps talking about Outlaw Golf. I remember Outlaw Volleyball back in the day. He says Outlaw Golf was the bomb. That's good. Let's see. Pixel Slapper says, Satya is trolling PlayStation. Yeah, they sure are. Let's see what else we got. Henry Jones says, shout out to Henry Jones. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Microsoft knows they can restore Xbox sales by removing their games from PC. They just don't want to. I don't think so, Henry Jones. I have been a fan of Xbox Play Anywhere since the day it was announced.
Yep.
I love the fact that I only need to buy a game once. I love the fact that I can subscribe to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and play on either my PC or my Xbox or my phone. I am against them bringing their first-party games to other platforms. That is the only thing that they are doing that I disagree with, but it's not enough to keep me from being an Xbox guy. Because gaming will grow, and Microsoft always tends to be about 5 years ahead of the competition. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sony, while they won't do day and date, they did a Sony published title, not developed by Sony, but Sony published title, Helldivers Day and Date, and Helldivers 2 saw great success, right? Which is, again, being rumored now to be coming to Xbox again. Not a Sony developed game, but a Sony published game might be coming to Xbox. And Xbox is doing all this, and they are just ahead of the game. Everything that everybody complained about in 2013 about Microsoft Xbox One, 5 years later became the standard. Right?
Yeah.
And now, some people are complaining about Xbox, including myself, bringing all their games to other consoles. And who knows, maybe in 5 years, it's going to be the standard. Like Microsoft just tends to be ahead of the game when it comes to seeing the future. They are really a future thinking company. You got games that might be setting the trend in games, but somebody's setting the trend in the gaming market, and I believe that is Xbox. Hence why I'm a huge Xbox fan, because I really like that they set the market trends. Right? Xbox Live was a market trend. Everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Game
Wireless
Pass
controllers was an Xbox market, was a trend that Xbox started. Right? What else did they do that is fantastic?
The profile,
the achievements before trophies came into play, and achievements came in again, setting that trend. Xbox is a very forward-thinking company, and I really like it. And Henry Jones, I'm not saying that consoles shouldn't be prioritized. I do feel that Microsoft is not prioritizing console players. Right now, their focus is on growth, and they just are not seeing the growth in consoles, no matter how much they throw into it. So they are focusing where the growth can be.
Yeah, I mean, they
as
definitely got to
unfortunate as that is.
Some things. Like, I do agree that, you know, Xbox PC players don't have to pay for to play online.
Yeah.
And I do think, you know, they need to do the same thing for console players. I mean, there are things like that. But you can't. Game companies like Xbox cannot deny PC gamers. I know some people don't care about PC, but there is a lot of people that play on PC or mobile. You can't deny those people to, you know, not to play your games. It's just a lot of money that you're leaving on the table. It just has to be part of the pie. I mean, it is what it is. You just play where you want to play. I mean, and games like, you know what I mean? Actually, we differ about the games going from Xbox to PlayStation or Nintendo, but if it's it's going to be, to me, it's going to be case by case. Depends on the game. Those games are not subscription or hardware sellers. They're not going to move that, you know. So, and if once they get to a point where they reach a peak and not that many people, it's not growth on your platform, I had no problem with them putting them on another platform and try to increase that because it just brings in revenue for other games that are on Xbox. So we'll see.
I have a problem because I feel that it gives me less of a reason to buy an Xbox. But that is, again, the only problem I have with their strategy.
No, I understand that for you. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, Jago Kukin says, yeah, Microsoft and Xbox always do implement things first. And they get laughed at for that. And later ends up being almost household norms. Xbox Connect turned into basically Alexa, and everybody has one now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I miss my Connect. Absolutely. I agree. Starks Man, Xbox started video streaming on your console with Netflix. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Henry Jones says, you have to force people to buy an Xbox. Don't put Elder Scrolls 6, Hellblade 2, and Fallout 5 on PC. Elder Scrolls was originally a PC game. Fallout was originally a PC game. Technically, console gamers are that. Hellblade is the only one that started on console, but you know, Xbox doesn't want to force people to buy an Xbox. That's the change in their strategy.
Yeah,
they want to force people to subscribe.
They're not an Xbox brand anymore. They're the whole ecosystem. They're not focused on just console.
Well, that's Microsoft. They've always been that way, right?
Microsoft has always been just platform agnostic.
Yeah.
I believe the last CEO that was full like console exclusive was still Steve Ballmer.
Oh yeah.
Who saved Xbox with the red ring of death. So if he wasn't there, maybe Xbox would have died back then. But Satya is definitely not a console exclusive kind of guy. No. And at the end of the day, you know, whether Phil Spencer believes in console exclusives or not, he has a boss and he has to do what the boss tells him. Coming from a corporate structure myself, trust me, you got to do it. If he won't listen to you, he won't listen to you. And, you know, it is what it is. Do I think it's going to be bad for the brand overall in the future? Maybe, maybe not. But I mean, the monthly active users chart is saying that I'm wrong. Because Xbox recorded 125 million monthly active users in this last month that beat out the number one gaming brand, PlayStation. So here they are with half the consoles, but with more monthly active users. You know, so everybody, you got to remember these gaming companies, and Nintendo said this, they are competing for your time. That is their competition. Whether you're watching TV, whether you're watching a movie, whether you're streaming a service, whether you're playing on another console, they are competing for your entertainment time. And when you have 125 million users, they are winning that competition, in my opinion. So, yeah, they're competing for your time. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And you are more than welcome to feel how you feel. And I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just kind of saying that that's not the way Xbox is feeling right now. Xbox isn't feeling you, Henry. Let's see. Doggy Dog 420 says Sony even copied paying for online multiplayer. Yeah. Yeah. Mike Clark brings up a good point. The only problem I have with Xbox, the strategy for the last 15 years, they just need games. Yeah, they need games. They need bangers. They need bangers. Yeah. In the first quarter, Xbox has released 4 games on competing platforms and 1 game on their own console. That's Diablo 4, an already existing game coming to Game Pass. They've released 1 first-party title into Game Pass in the last quarter, but they released 4 first-party titles onto competing platforms. So it is. I definitely feel you. They need games, absolutely. Pixel Slapper says, "Stop making sense, Fastback. You knock that off right now."
Sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah, Jago, people were so worried about Kinect spying on them, and now everybody has an Alexa-type device that is 100% always listening. Yes. Let's see. Mike Clark says, Xbox has always been a third-party console anyway. In reality, so has PlayStation. The only console that can say they are carried by the first-party hardware is Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo survives on first-party alone. Third-party is kind of like a gift over there.
There's a reason why Sony pays to keep third-party off Xbox.
Yeah, third party is, and shout out to third party. There's some great third party games from Ubisoft, from who else am I playing right now? FromSoft, my favorite third party company right now. FromSoft, Bandai Namco. I really love them. There's Sega. So there's definitely some great third party games available. So shout out to third party. I'm not totally discounting them at all. They are super important to the gaming industry and to Xbox. Let's see. Why are people in the media worried about Xbox sales if they know it's not about that? Because they need clickbait. Yes, thank you, Fastback. Clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, clickbait. Yeah, people they need those clickbaits. And Xbox has since 2015, I believe, is when they said that they're not going to announce console sales anymore. It's been 10 years and the media is still harping on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So why announce it when you're always going to be behind the other two?
Yeah. Why do you need to announce it?
Yeah. You need to have a good reason to announce something that's positive, that sounds, you make the optics look better, like the engagement numbers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The growth of Game Pass. So that makes more sense for them overall.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. But yeah, clickbait, because journalists have to write articles that get people's attention.
Yeah.
And fire people up. And nothing fires people up than getting into their
negative Xbox news.
Negative Xbox news just sells. I mean, just being
honest. It is.
Just
ever since 2013.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And coolcatterri, yeah. Do you want to expand on any of this or just want to leave it at that?
I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
All right. Jason Max says, just remember, Xbox is number one. Absolutely. I like Xbox. It's my favorite gaming brand.
They are this last quarter.
Out of the 3 console players, it's definitely my favorite one.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so passionate, why I get so upset that they release first-party games elsewhere, because I am such a fan. I only care because I'm a fan. Kind of like I care about my Denver Broncos. I don't play. I don't win or lose any money off of them, but man, I love them, and I every decision they make fires me up, especially if I don't agree with it.
I'll tell you what, y'all got a good quarterback.
Yeah,
give you credit there.
Yeah, finally.
We'll see.
Yeah, and Jago Kukin just reiterated my point. Yep, the only console that survives off first party alone is Nintendo. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Xbox makes the negative news so easy for them. In a way, I believe I want to say I want to say you're right, and that's because Xbox backtracks a lot on what they say. Bethesda games are only launching on platforms where Xbox exists. Not true anymore. Now they're just plainly going out there. Xbox doesn't exist on Nintendo or on PlayStation, but Xbox games are going over there. So okay, yeah, they make it easy. Xbox. The thing about Xbox is that because Microsoft is a quarterly driven company, the goal every quarter might change. And so the direction of Xbox might change with every quarter. Mm-hmm. So what Phil said a year ago isn't good anymore to drive profit, like right here, 51% profit. So they're gonna change their strategy, and everybody's like, "Oh, but Phil Spencer said this, but Phil Spencer said that."
You hear that all
Phil
the time.
Spencer lied here. Phil Spencer lied there, and they just don't understand. Like nothing is a forever promise.
Yeah.
When it comes to corporate Microsoft, they're gonna go where the money goes. Just plain and simple. And so, if whatever Phil Spencer says now, like only 4 games, blah blah blah. I don't believe it because what are the needs for next quarter? Maybe another 4 games. What are the needs for the quarter for 2 quarters after that? Oh, maybe now it's going to be all of them, which is what I believe is going to happen. That all the games are going to go over there are going to be multi-plat. And I have prepared myself to game in that world and still be a huge Xbox fan because I believe it's inevitable. Because I understand that Microsoft every quarter needs to drive that revenue. And so while only 4 games might be moving over now, in the future, then in future quarters, maybe another 4 games, and in the future after that, maybe all games. Do you understand what I'm saying, Terry? Like, does it make sense?
Yeah, I suppose.
I suppose.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to talk much because my audio.
just hold your thing like this. Where's my?
Just tell them no.
This is just earbuds. There's no mic.
Tell them no. Like some of it makes sense, but all games don't make sense. That's it.
I just believe it's inevitable. I mean, just between you and me, I believe it's inevitable. Maybe in 2 years it's going to happen, but Microsoft only cares about that profit.
No, I know, but I think it would be a bad idea because you got a lot of games that Xbox publishes. They bring right. You put all those games on Nintendo and PlayStation. Now, Nintendo and PlayStation, their games have to compete with Xbox games on their system, and so that could be. It's too convoluted. It's too much. I don't think it's a good idea. You have to have some separation, a reason to go to Xbox, a reason to go PlayStation, Nintendo, and I don't think Nintendo. If Nintendo and PlayStation wanted Game Pass on the system, Xbox would gladly put it on there, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if PlayStation, Nintendo would allow it, then it would be there. But they're not going to allow it, so that's why I say not all games are going to go.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel that it's inevitable. That's my feeling, though, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm hoping I'm wrong. Like between you and me,
you're wrong. Like you're wrong.
Hoping I'm wrong,
and I'm wrong every year too about my Cowboys winning Super Bowl every year. So,
and you know what, doggy? Shut up, doggy. Someone time this guy out right now. The Denver Broncos are the entire Jaguars of the NFL. Whatever. You know what? You're gonna find out having Russell Wilson. It's gonna be known as Interception Wilson. You're gonna find out. Russell Wilson,
I can agree with you on that.
Get 12 touchdowns. He has 12 toilets in his house. He's not even going to give you 12 touchdowns this year. Let's see. MBG says, my family is gone. Still at playtime. That's right. Get those yams. Still at yams. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And Mike Clark agrees with me. Not going to lie. Those Stellar Blade cheeks are pretty sweet. Yeah. Let's see. Xbox has too many spokesmen talking and saying different things at any given time that confuse the consumer. Yeah, some people are good at PR. Some people are not.
I think Sarah Bond should be the face. Like, I'll have to vote through her and make
I think that Xbox CFO guy, whatever something, Tim something, isn't that his name? Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The Xbox CFO needs to stop talking.
He does.
Just saying.
I don't understand how he's talking.
And
then you got Phil, and I don't. That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Doggy Dog says, I don't think Sony will have a console long enough for all the games to go over. Wow. PlayStation is going to be an app. Dang. Shout out to Doggy. Shout out to Doggy. Let's see. And then the man says, I feel your pain, Fastback, as a fellow Cowboy fan.
Yeah. We go 12-3, but we don't win those playoffs and Super Bowls. So
there has been since the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, they have as many playoff wins as there have been solar eclipses in Texas.
Hey, but we won. We haven't gone as long to win the Super Bowl as the 49ers. That's all I'm gonna say. They could go there every year, but you got to win it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Back at you, Cyber Gunther, but he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, I miss Major Nelson. Yeah, Major Nelson was fantastic. All right, let's move on to the news. Okay, so still sticking to the Q3 financials and talking about clickbait. Check out this clickbait. So, IGN is trolling Xbox. Microsoft's gaming revenue climbed significantly year over year, according to its Q3 earnings report. but the massive jump in takings is deceptive. Most of it is just a reflection of the addition of ABK. Talk about clickbait. Clickbait right there, right?
Right there. Clickbait
Now,
word right there, deceptive.
Is this deceptive to you, Fastback?
Nope.
Is this deception?
What are they supposed to do?
You feel deceived?
Not add Activision Blizzard revenue to theirs for the quarter? No, they have to.
Yeah, they have to. This is the first time full quarter.
I know.
Let's give it a shot. Do you feel deceptive?
For the 51%?
Yeah.
I guess it kind of is because I mean tongue tied. They said that those numbers were strictly coming from the Activision Blizzard aspect, right?
Yeah, they even say how many points are out there. Are they deceiving you in any way?
Maybe not. No, because I mean they own them now. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean they're being upfront. I don't know. I mean, they own that stuff and they're sharing the numbers for their new equity. So I don't see that as being deceptive.
So everybody is saying that Xbox it's deceptive because Xbox would have only grown 1% without ABK. But last I checked, they paid $69 billion and threw them in Xbox specifically to be included in this. I don't feel that this is deception at all.
That's like ifs and buts. That's like, we'll use Sony as an example because that's usually always the example, right? So you're mad that their earnings are better because now they have ABK. So when Sony went and they purchased like House Marquee, you're going to tell me that whatever they get now is deceptive because they wouldn't have had that number prior to House Marquee?
Yeah, or Bungie.
Or Bungie. Well, we won't count Bungie. Bungie is probably a nail in their coffin, so we won't count them. But you know what I mean?
That's a good one. I love it.
Or Insomniac. Okay, so they got Insomniac. Insomniac's
right? A good one, yeah.
So their growth is deceptive because they wouldn't have had that percent prior to Insomniac. Like no one had that argument.
Yeah, so we've had more Insomniac games released in the past couple years.
Like no
one any other PlayStation studio,
Yeah, so I think this is just a dumb thing that this is that console war thing, where this conversation didn't come up when Sony had acquired stuff.
Yeah, and Jago Cookin says, Sony and Nintendo are only allowed to add acquisition revenue to the year-over-year financials because Microsoft and Xbox are bad, remember? Yeah. And I agree with Doggy Dog. That is the stupidest argument. They own them. Yes. Yes, absolutely true. This whole deceptive argument just is silly to me. Because I can say this, and I was talking this on Twitter. I can say this. It's such a non-statement. I can say this about literally any company. Hey, Fastback, you like your Fords, right? With a name like Fastback.
Yeah, that's the reason why I have Fastback.
Yeah, you like your Fords.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Ford sales are up? But that's only because of the F-150 trucks.
I guess so. Somehow it affects me,
recording that.
Just like a Xbox gamer, it affects me because Xbox is deceptive, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, did you know that the PlayStation user counts are going to be up? But that's only because of Helldivers 2. Deceptive.
Yeah.
I mean, it is such a non-statement. It's silly. I don't know why IGN did this. So I didn't click the article as I don't care what the article says, but happy about it. They got community noted. There is nothing deceptive about Xbox's Q3 earnings since Activision is a first-party studio under Microsoft and Xbox, therefore increasing its gaming revenue legitimately, not deceptively, legitimately. So, yeah, I'm so glad they got community noted. This is the second Xbox post that I know of that has been community noted by on Twitter from IGN. So IGN just with that clickbait. For shame. Let's see. Dug it out. So PepsiCo can't count the money they make off of Taco Bell and Frito-Lay's because they bought them, right? So stupid. Yeah. Jago Cooking. Anything Xbox does is bad for most people, and it doesn't matter what it is. Those people are sheep and don't think for themselves. Yeah. Doggy Dog is a Ford Mustang guy here too. Yes. Hey, the Mustang sales are up, but that's only because of the Mach-E. If you exclude the Mach-E, they're not up.
Mach-E is not a Mustang. It's an SUV. Should have been called a Probe. Sorry, sir.
Nope. It's called a Ford Mustang Mach-E.
No.
That's what it's called.
Sorry. No. You're hurting me.
I'm hurting you. I didn't name it.
I'm never coming on this show again. Blasphemy.
The Mach-E is the new fastback. Okay. Hold on.
No.
Let's see. I guess Xbox is supposed to report illegally just so the reports aren't so deceptive. Shaking my head. Yeah. Hold on. I got you fastback.
Thank you, Brenda.
I'm gonna do something to you.
See,
here.
That's deceptive right there. When you say a electric SUV with 4 doors is the reason why Mustang's revenue is up. Deceptive.
Here's Fastback Mach-E edition. I'm just messing with you, Fastback. You can change it back.
Yeah. Damn. I'm out. Bye.
No, don't leave. I'm sorry. Let's see. Brendo Coverage says, I agree, that's not a Mustang. The Mach-E is a terribly solid, is terrible. The Mustang name with that travesty. It's faster than the Mustang. That's all I know. I said it. Oh my gosh. By the way, did you see the new Mustang models?
Yeah.
The
No, they look good.
models?
Yeah.
That black one at the very top for $68,000.
We got the new Super Snake coming out with 850 horsepower.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Sounds better than an electric. You can go faster than me all you want, but can't hear it.
Hey, I'll put speakers in. Electric speakers in.
That's what they're doing. They do.
So funny.
Yeah.
All right. So IGN got community noted. And for that, I got a meme here. You never go full IGN. All right. Never. But unfortunately, Xbox did go full IGN. IGN and Xbox Digital Showcase returns April 29, 2024. Xbox went full IGN, guys. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I had nothing to do with it. I don't know why Xbox goes with IGN when IGN treats them like all IGN does is badmouth Xbox all the time. And I don't know why Xbox does this to themselves.
Because they had that, because IGN is still a big,
they're recognizable.
Market, right?
They're like the biggest ones outside of maybe
so
like
they have to kind of play that game, and I think their attitude is let's keep trying to convince IGN, kind of bring to convince them that Xbox is doing good for gaming and try to get them to where they can start bringing positive news on Xbox. I think they're trying to push that narrative, in the right way, but whatever.
Back in the day when they had that whole Xbox has no games and they posted that God of War meme, or like God of War on PS4, God of War on Xbox, and they had to take it down, and Ryan McCaffrey had to issue a public apology.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just continued over time. Now this deceptive crap.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why Xbox would team up with IGN to do their ID at Xbox. Now,
I agree.
With that being said, I didn't think the Twitch team up was that good. It was way too long.
Yeah.
It was like a 5-hour long event. I didn't watch it. So maybe they're going this way to shorten it. But again, I just don't see why they team with IGN. They're going to team
maybe
with
they told IGN
team with anybody.
We're just
going to team with with iconic video games. I would have done it for you, Xbox.
Our indie games. Here, we'll let you do our idea Xbox game, but you're not doing our AAA big reveal. Sorry.
I'd be fine with it. I got a huge indie star right here, Cool Cat Terry.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'd rather get my news from Terry.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna get the latest updates on games like Vampire Survivors, Dungeons of Hittenberg, 33 Immortals, which I'm looking forward to. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, and more. If you missed out, IGN will have the Idea at Xbox Digital Troll Kit archived on their channel after the show concludes with like 1 million ads.
Yeah.
You got your first look at Axiom Verge 2, Sea of Stars, and many other games. So I mean, the Idea at Xbox show is something for future stars, but again, just Xbox. Come on, you never go full IGN. You never go full IGN.
I agree.
Right. So that's just my thought. Terry, do you think this is good, bad? What are your feelings? I mean, I understand the business side, but what are your feelings?
Keep your enemies close.
Enemies close.
She knows.
You know, this is business. All right.
Mhm.
They might not have to like each other, but they need to be able to work together. So yeah, no, this is business. When you look at all the biggest journalist publications out there, none of them are pro Xbox, so they have kind of no choice but to choose one and try to work together. And who knows, maybe as they work together, maybe views will change.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you gotta keep your enemies close, man.
Gotta
know, gotta kind of do what you can to kind of sway their narrative the best of your ability to show them what you're really doing versus them just making all these crazy assumptions.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
I pissed off Shaggy once because I used to follow him back then, and and then he went on Twitter and he was crying about Halo 5, and I told him I was kind of just like I didn't like because he started saying stuff about the game before us who could play it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, so I kind of mentioned like, hey, no spoilers. And I said, don't be mad because Rooster Teeth got first dibs to showcase Halo 5. And then he blocked me.
Wow.
Whatever. Bye.
You're talking about Ryan, right?
Yes. I call him
Ryan. Ryan hasn't blocked me, but I've stopped following him. I don't really care anymore.
I know.
The guy just, I don't know, for being, Destin has replaced him as the Xbox guy to me.
He has, yeah.
Ryan, he totally trashed the Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider being exclusive, but then he goes and praises Final Fantasy 16 being exclusive, and he's all, spare me, all you Xbox guys, spare me. And it's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
keep that same energy. We say it. Keep that
I
same
lost all
energy.
respect for him. So
yeah. And I'm not a fan of what IGN does. I understand they're the biggest brand in gaming news. I don't know, but I just feel that they got big off of their Xbox hate. That's like, I don't know. I feel that anytime they report anything Xbox, it's always like I'm reading into the rumor mill instead of news. That's the way I'll say about IGN. And as an Xbox guy, of course, that matters to me because I want real Xbox news, not IGN loaded with lies and rumors news. Just saying. Chet Walker might have a point here. He says Microsoft as a company is used to people trashing them, so it doesn't bother them as much. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah. Mike Clark says Xbox needs the Shin Megami Tensei. You forgot Tensei series. No need for Final Fantasy. Well, for me anyway. I disagree. I'd rather have the Final Fantasy than Shin Megami Tensei. I love Shin Megami Tensei, by the way, but Soul Hackers wasn't it for me. I'm sorry. It just wasn't. Let's see. Wait, Terry has common sense. Yeah, keep your enemies close. Yeah, that's right. Brendo Carrizo says it's obvious to me that Ryan doesn't care about games anymore. All he wants to do is talk about a Tesla. A big reason why I unfollow him. Yeah. Yeah. And let's see. Crazy Gruton says IGN is run by a bunch of GameStop employees. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. So, yeah, the Idea at Xbox Showcase coming on tomorrow, the 29th, right? Yeah, 29th. That's tomorrow. Are you going to watch this show, this IGN Xbox show, Terry?
Probably not. I'll probably just wait for it to be done, and then this way I can skip through it and see the highlights because I don't know. I don't want to give live view data to IGN. I'll just, capture it someplace else.
True story. Fastback, are you going to watch?
Probably not. I think it's At what, 10 a.m. or when is 6 p.m.? I don't know.
At
Nah,
10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, so that's 2 p.m. my time.
Nah, I'll wait, and then I can watch it on Xbox, YouTube, or whatever when they.
Yeah, all the trailers
Go
are going to
back
be on
and
Xbox YouTube, so that's all
Yeah.
I'm going to do. I'm just going to load the playlist on Xbox to watch
Yeah.
the trailers. I'm not going to watch this live again. I don't like IGN. I don't like clicking onto their articles. I don't like going to the website. I don't like clicking on their videos.
Same.
Again, this is me. Never go full IGN. Never. So IGN just, again, when you report like this a week after Xbox announced this, it just lets you know how little they think of Xbox. Just lets you know. So yeah. But I think that's going to do it for today's show, guys. Overall, a fantastic show. Not bad.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, good point, coolcatterri. I'm not giving IGN my view either. Yeah, that's right. Boycott IGN. Yeah. Those PS2 Shin Megami Tensei games are great. They are. Yeah. And Pixel Slapper says he's going to be watching ID at Xbox with Dinbray? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. What's Dinbray? Anybody know? No, I don't know.
Another podcaster?
Maybe another podcaster? Yeah. Well, have fun with that, Pixel Slapper. With that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Fastback, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me Fastback6768. You can find me sometimes on this show, maybe on NOG, on Rumble, and on Xbox consoles. I do have a PlayStation account, same thing, Fastback6768, and on X, Twitter. Hit me up if you want.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, and thank y'all for having me on again.
Oh, no, thank you again for coming on such short notice.
Yeah,
we
no
appreciate you having you here. I think you're a great voice and
you.
underappreciated in the podcast realm.
Yeah, I just had fun.
My wife says, please come back to the show next week, Mr. Fastback.
Thank you.
There you go. You're fantastic. And again, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you again for watching. But of course, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat. And that's right. You guys, the chat will always be the MVP to any of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. With all that being said, we're out of here. I'm Axel1344.
I'm coolcatterri.
And we will catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.